I'm taking a strap. I'm strapped up.
Seven, what was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.
God. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 222 of the SZN Podcast. As always, I'm your boy Kam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And you know the drill by now, guys. Before we head to kick off the episode, please head over to our Instagram page, which is SZN Podcast, or our Twitter page, which is SZN Pod. There's a link in the bio on both of those pages there, and that'll take you to where we'll switch here with that streaming-wise. So if you like audio, if that's your steez, we're on all the main audio platforms for podcasts, such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Google, all that stuff. And then also, if you want the visuals, the YouTube link is also there for you. So make sure you like, subscribe, leave us a review, engage with us. We're friendly people, man. So please make sure you do that, guys. We love to chat to you about boxing. But Flowz, the year's coming to an end, but yeah, obviously, more fights to talk about. There isn't a fight for us to really discuss next week, or any fights, to be honest, any major ones. So this episode is purely going to be focused on reviewing all the action that went down on Friday and Saturday, because there was a lot of good boxing occurred this weekend, Flowz. I'm really looking forward to chat to you about it, because we haven't even spoken like that, really. So I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts, bro. So right, we start with Friday, right, Flowz? Let's take it in order. So Friday's card was the infamous Flowz, Jake Paul, Mike Tyson card. As you said, the main event we didn't really care for, but I'm also happy to talk about the main event. In fact, we'll talk about the main event, Flowz. But obviously, we'll start with the undercard, because obviously there was some certain boxes on the undercard that are worth checking out. Nice win for Shushu Carrington, Flowz.
Yeah.
Who else was on the card? Mario Barrios ended up in a draw, wasn't it? It was a draw with Abel Ramos.
Yeah.
That wasn't a fight I was expecting there to be a draw, but I didn't catch this fight, Flowz, but it seemed like it was a bit of a war. So that's very interesting. But forget all that, Flowz. We're here for the chief support of the evening. A main card fight in its own anyways. And then, it should really be headlining the card, but obviously it's not going on the Jake Paul card. But Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor 2, Flowz. We knew it was going to be a cracker. And it was a cracker. It was a cracker. Again, these two women, Flowz, I think I've run out of superlatives for both of them. There's not much more we can say. We picked them up so much. Their first fight was legendary. And I said I didn't care for this fight being as good as the first fight, Flowz, but I just knew it would be good regardless. And it was good. It was good. So they've given us two classics. Two classics, Flowz, back to back. Shout out to those girls. Yeah, Flowz, just an amazing, amazing fight. I've watched it twice.
Already?
Huh?
Already?
Yeah, man. I think that's the beauty of this being on Netflix, Flowz. Yeah. It's there. It's still there.
I didn't even know this.
Yeah, it's still there.
Yeah, I know. I watched it on there. But I was looking for where I could watch it.
Yeah. You don't want to try and find these dodgy sites and whatnot, the Chinese sites. Bro, it's there. So you know what? Hats off to Netflix, the Netflix presentation let's talk about the presentation of Netflix, Flowz. Obviously, it's their first foray into boxing, and they're going to be doing it often now. I think they've got a deal with WWE as well, right? So they're going to start doing wrestling on there as well. I was expecting a full-on pay-per-view sort of thing on top of the subscription, Flowz, but this was I don't know if they're going to introduce that in the future, touch wood, but they probably will. But yeah, because you know how the Zone initially was like, if you have the Zone, you watch every fight. But when they went, certain people... It was
free from the get-go. It wasn't pay-per-view on the day.
Bro, from the get-go. If you have a Netflix account, boom, the fight's there for you to watch.
Okay, I thought they just slapped up for free the day after. But, yeah.
No, it's been free from the get-go. Look, as long as you got a Netflix account, Flowz, that's going to be there. I know when they'll take it down, but that's going to be there for you to replay and watch. Because I went back and watched it.
Yeah.
Or we rounded everything. Like, it was just there. So
you watched it live without paying anything?
Just have their Netflix account. Obviously, my Netflix subscription, or let's say, shout out to Mom's Netflix subscription. Yeah. But Netflix account, watch it live. There's no payment for it, nothing. I literally went onto my phone and watched it. Yeah. So, yeah. And then today again, I watched it again. So, yeah, man. This is, like I said, Netflix's first foray into boxing. And from what I understand, Flowz, the numbers were huge anyway. So, we're probably going to see more Netflix boxing cards Makes a nice change. Again, they lifted basically Flowz. Um, they got the Showtime boys there.
Yeah.
Plus, Andre Ward was there as well.
Mm.
Kate Abdo, sorry, she's going by Kate Scott now, Flowz. Let's not forget. Kate Scott was there. Shout out to Brother Malik. Yeah, she's announced as Kate Scott, bro, on the thingy. Kate Scott.
So,
Who's Kate Scott? I was like, oh, it's Kate. Shout out to Brother Malik. But yeah, so yeah, they've lifted pieces from different organizations, Flowz.
yeah.
But yeah, but it was nice to hear familiar voices on comms. Well, partly anyway. So yeah, yeah, man. The presentation seemed fine, but the fight itself was, like I said, cracker. I watched it live, but because it was so late, I didn't plan to stay up for it. But I just happened to wake up around that time. And I said, you know what, I might as well. So I watched it from my phone. But obviously, I'm dozing off in portions and whatnot, half asleep, blah blah. So I couldn't take it in properly. I knew it was an amazing fight, but I didn't take it in as well as I could. Yeah, the fight itself Flowz, because we'll talk about the decisions and the results, all that kind of stuff a little bit later. But the fight itself Flowz. Um, these two women obviously know each other very well, and they picked off where they left off Flowz. Um, kind of similar fight to the first fight, right, Flowz? You got Amanda Serrano pressuring and hitting Katie Taylor with these big shots that seem to hurt Katie Taylor. And Katie Taylor just showing that warrior spirit Flowz and flashing the crazy hand speed and combinations. And it was just that Flowz, ebbing and flowing between both of these women, just cracking each other constantly. Southpaw versus Orthodox. I saw a lot of things that I saw in the first fight Flowz. Amanda Serrano started strong. Katie Taylor was peppering her initially, but then boom, she's trapped Katie Taylor in the corner towards the end of the round and cracked her hard. And Katie's falling back. It looks as if she's actually shaking her and hurt her. And obviously the crowd's going crazy. It was a very pro Amanda crowd, let's be real. And the commentary, we'll talk about the commentary later, Flowz, as well, because I've got a bone to pick with them too. But the commentary was going crazy. So I'm there thinking, if I know Kate the way I know her, she's going to come back in that second round firing. And that's what she did. She kept meeting Amanda in the middle, Flowz. The story of the fight basically, Flowz, was Amanda was pressuring. Katie Taylor was on the back foot. Amanda was able to walk through Katie Taylor's shots, but doesn't mean Katie Taylor wasn't landing. Katie Taylor was landing frequently with those quick fire combinations. But yeah, Flowz, there's some controversy, and I can see why there was controversy, Flowz, in the result for this fight. Because if I'm taking it back to our favorite boxing phrase, Flowz, or one of our favorites, I can see why people are up in arms, because if you're looking at optically, right, Flowz, to me, Amanda Serrano won the story of the fight. She won the story of the fight. And I say that what I mean by that, listeners, is she was the one pressuring Katie Taylor. She threw more. She landed more, I think. She was the one forcing the pace. And whenever Katie Taylor landed flush, Amanda Serrano kind of walked through it. But whenever she landed flush on Katie, it looked like it had an effect on Katie. So from the optics, Flowz, and the story of it, I can see why people might be like, oh, Amanda won that. Amanda took that. But having watched that fight back twice, Flowz, second time, where I'm watching them properly scoring, to me, Katie Taylor won that fight by a round. I scored 95-94 Katie Taylor, Flowz. Razor thin, and I will go into why I scored it for Katie. But yeah, I want you to get the stuff off. So yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Picked up where they left off. Great fight. Yeah, brilliant. From round 1 to round 10. Cracker. I think, like you say, first round tense to a degree. And then we see Katie Taylor get hurt on the back end of the round, caught with a big shot, like you mentioned. Got caught again with like 2 more shots before the round. I was like, damn. Already?
Commentary that saved by the bell.
And then I guess how I saw the fight is Serrano's coming forward, throwing more. But for me, the cleaner, effective shots were coming from Katie Taylor, especially in that early portion of the fight. the first half of the fight, she was landing the cleaner, more effective shots. The shots that were making me get, ooh, I thought Serrano was getting caught flush more, if that makes sense. With like you say, the sharp combinations and a few counter shots, a few check hooks. Katie Taylor was landing on Serrano. She's coming forward, throwing. So it was like Katie Taylor's making a miss and then landing big shots or landing big combinations. And what Katie Taylor was also doing, which obviously caused some controversy as well, was clinching, smothering as soon as she lands a combination, lean in, come in, wrap up, head in as well. We'll talk about that because there was a lot of, it was a key factor in the fight, actually, let's be honest. But yeah, that's how I saw the first half. And then a significant occurrence happened over the course of the first half that almost led the second half to just being a tear up. The second half of the fight was a legit slobber knockout, war, toe to toe, trading and exchanging. Yeah. And yeah, that really spiced things up. But yeah, great fight from start to finish and close. I scored it 95-94, Taylor.
As well. Yeah. Yeah.
You, the judges, I don't know how they gave the rounds, but I think we were all on the same page.
Yeah.
To the commentary.
Flowz, it was another, here we're having another debate about, because this is shades of Pretoria Bivol, right, Flowz, in terms of what you're marking as effective aggression and how you're scoring fights. Because people were quick to jump on Twitter and be like, oh, I thought Amanda won that. She hurt Katie Taylor more. She quick to put up the CompuBox stats that shows that Amanda threw more and landed more, all that kind of stuff. I hear that. But again, it's how what you like to see in fights, and this is what makes these close fights so close and so controversial, right, Flowz? Because as we said before, boxing scoring is very subjective, and it depends on what you like. For me, I've said like I said, I'm very, very myself and yourself actually, Flowz, we're very, very clear on how we like to see fights be scored and what we score it. But there's no rule book to score it.
Yeah.
And on this night, Flowz, because Bivol, we were on the opposite side of the coin, right, Flowz? The Bivol fight.
Well,
to the judges.
Yeah.
We were on the opposite side of the coin, and they gave it to Beterbiev. Well, we were very, very, adamant that no, Bivol won that fight because of these reasons. Whereas the judges saw something different on that night. On this night, Flowz, they've gone with the Katie Taylor route, which is what we, anyways, were saying in terms of, look, she landed the cleaner, more effective work for the duration of the fight. Cool, she might have been, Amanda's punches might have hurt her more. She never went down, though.
Yeah. And
she was still landing with effectiveness against Amanda. So, to me, Flowz, I scored that razor-thin fight, Flowz. 95-94, that's 1 point in it. So it wasn't like it was a wash or nothing. It was super close. And if Amanda had got it, Flowz, I wouldn't be mad. Yeah. If it's goes, I wouldn't be mad. But at the end of the day, Flowz, the judges have seen what we've seen on this occasion, and they've said the effective aggression is probably what's won them over. And I agree with that, Flowz. So, yeah, man, this is going to be a never-ending debate, Flowz, because there's no rule book to scoring. It is what it is. It depends on what you like. But as I always say, Flowz, and as we always seem to say with these kind of close fights, please don't use the R word. Has no place here. Yeah, Flowz, people were saying it. Of course they were saying it.
Commentary drops.
The commentator, who's meant to be unbiased, said straight away, twice, Amanda Serrano has been robbed by Katie Taylor. What are you saying? Flowz, we're here now, Flowz. This commentary, was crazy. This commentary was insane. One of the worst I've heard, Flowz. Roy Jones, who I usually like hearing the commentary, by the way, Flowz, was glazing like crazy. They were Rosie Perez, first of all. Why is Rosie Perez commentating? Why? No beef with Rosie Perez. But what did she know about boxing? Flowz, you know that Kanye thing where you talk about Gaga and Kodak? That's what I was like, well, no offense to Gaga. What the fuck does she know about pictures? That's what I was like with Rosie Perez. Why is Rosie Perez on the commentary?
Oh,
and she couldn't even hide, Flowz, they couldn't even hide the biasness. Rosie Perez is there saying, oh yeah, Puerto Rican pride. Brother, come on now. I'm seeing moments here, Flowz. There was one time, yeah, where Amanda Serrano's got Katie Taylor against the ropes, yeah, and she's eating a three-piece combination, three-piece clean, and they said, "Wow, this pressure from Amanda." I said, "What do you mean? What pressure?" She's just got cracked 3 times, and they're saying because she stood there, Flowz, and took it, and she was still in Katie's face, they were saying, "Oh yeah, this pressure from Amanda is crazy." Blah 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 blah. They were blatantly ignoring certain stuff that Katie Taylor was doing. Whenever Amanda Serrano hit a great shot, they'll go crazy for it. And for Katie, they'll miss a lot of. They did call some of Katie's big shots, but they missed a lot of her good work. So the commentary, Flowz, was biased from the get go. And then for them to say straight away after the decision was made, wow, 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 she's been robbed twice by this woman. What does she have to do to beat Katie Taylor? Roy Perez says this is an asterisk on Katie Taylor's legacy. What are you talking about? Yeah, Flowz, the commentary was insane. And Roy, I'm disappointed. You know better. Roy knows better. I'm very disappointed in Roy. I can't lie.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't. To be fair, because I heard the commentary was going crazy before I even watched it. I kind of watched it. So I kind of shut the commentary out. I wasn't really paying attention too tough to what they were saying. But yeah, I caught. Obviously, I was catching some of it, but I was ignoring everything they were saying because, yeah. But really and truly, look, I understand why people will scream robbery and it makes sense now because it was free to watch on Netflix, anyone with a Netflix account. So you don't even have to be a boxing head, really. Given the main event, a lot of people watching aren't really boxing heads, I'll be real. Because from the boxing world, when I saw the boxing world, a lot of them were saying this one a robbery. When I saw the responses, a lot of them even agreed with us and judging.
Shakur was very vocal about saying Katie Taylor won that fight. A few of the boxing lot,
Lewis Shields gave it to Katie Taylor. So the reaction I saw on Twitter, because I'm full of boxing people.
Well, from the boxing lot, because I went and searched the hashtag, obviously, which is mainly for the casuals, and they were up in arms as usual.
I've seen the response, but look, like we talked about the scoring, we both scored on clean, effective punching and punches landed. I saw the CompuBox stats. Now, obviously, if you land more and land more frequently, you tend to win a fight. But for me, a lot of the shots Serrano was landing weren't clean or more effective than Katie Taylor's. I question the CompuBox. In fact, for listeners, just so you understand, CompuBox isn't a computer counting the scores, the punches. It's 3 people on the side. I think it might just be 2 people, one for each fighter, who press a button every time they see a punch landed. So they just press a button, and I think they have 2 buttons, one for jabs, one for big punches, and maybe one for body shots as well. So they just press a button. So it's human. They have one view of the fight. Because I saw they said Serrano landed 68 punches in that last round. I don't believe that for a second. But a lot of the punches were in clinches. That's what I noticed. A lot of punches
from both women.
Both of them. A lot of punches were in those clinches. So to me, that's not clean, effective punching. In clinching, holding and punching. It's not inside fighting. It's holding and punching. So clean, effective shots for me. Same way I gave it to Bivol. Although Bivol threw more and landed more. I always score on clean, the more clean, effective.
That's the bottom line, right, Flowz? Clean, effective work. No matter what. CompuBox isn't the be-all, end-all. Don't rely just on CompuBox because
it's not correct. It might not even be not correct. Indication, but it's 2 people who decide. I think we can both agree once again, no robbery. Close fight.
Robbery. Raise a close fight, Flowz, again.
But yeah, there were obviously some highlights, controversial
controversial talking points. Katie Taylor's head. Let's.
Why not say pause?
Why do you say pause for that? She's a woman, no? This guy, useless guy. That's crazy. That's crazy, Flowz.
Her head and her neck.
Hey, yo. Sturdy neck, sturdy chin.
That neck,
cool. So this probably isn't the first time we've heard complaints about Katie Taylor and her head usage, right, Flowz, but Amanda Serrano's team are very vocal about this. There was a few accidental headbutts. Look, when it comes to Orthodox versus Southpaw, clashing of heads is normally inevitable, right, Flowz? Just the way the footwork is and the way they're faced up against each other. It's just when they come in together to come in to do their work, bang. It happens a lot, Flowz. We see it so many times in fights. What I was noticing, Flowz, and again, I don't think Katie Taylor was doing this on purpose because there was about 4 or 5 headbutts, Flowz. And Katie Taylor actually got to the point for one of them. Where the referee said she did it intentionally. I don't think she's ever done it intentionally, Flowz. It's just the way she fights. And if you notice, Flowz, when they came to click, because Katie was clinching a lot.
Yeah.
Holding a lot, spoiling a lot. But she would dip low, Flowz, when she's clinching. Like she's kind of dipping low. And then because she's there kind of like wrestling and stuff, she will then raise up with her head, Flowz, every single time. And it kind of looks like every time the head's kind of like boring in. But it's because she always dips low that comes upwards with her heads. It's not really so much. It's quite scrappy and messy, Flowz, but I don't think she's doing it with intent to cause injury or cause harm. It's because of just the way she's very wiry and she's very, scrappy. So she's like, they're kind of wrestling and
almost falls
in close. Yeah, and like her balance, Flowz, was quite off.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Flowz, or Friday, Flowz, where she'll kind of fall into her and kind of like struggle to get back up again. And she's using the head, and she's got a big head, to be fair, Flowz. So yeah, it was kind of like that, Flowz. So that's what obviously, if I'm Amanda Serrano's team and Serrano, of course I'd be livid because it's like, yo, this has happened repeatedly. And the cut that opened up from these headbutts, Flowz, was savage. Nasty. Flowz. It was when the second headbutt came in, Flowz, and it opened up even more. And you just see it just teeming with blood and think the flesh is flapping. Oh, nasty, nasty cut, Flowz. So, of course, I'll be livid. But I don't think, personally, that Katie Taylor is doing this on purpose. I don't think she's intentionally leading with her head. It's just the way she kind of like kept falling into the clinches, Flowz, and with her head low. I think head low to try and tuck her chin down, and then she'll kind of raise up to try and get out of it. That's how I think. That's what I was noticing, Flowz. But yeah, I would be agreed if I was an Amanda Serrano team for sure.
Yeah, look, we've also mentioned this, especially in the last fight with Cameron.
Yep.
Katie Taylor has adopted an effective style of smothering and going in for the pinch, almost excessively. Almost excessively. And look, I've been on this pod and said, look, the art is hit and not get hit, and there's 2 ways to control that in terms of distance, being out of range or clinching.
Clinching, yeah.
Yeah, and look, Mayweather done it in a one of the cleanest ways I've ever seen. He was very effective in clean and doing it. We've seen people who do it villainously, Lawrence Okoli. And Katie Taylor does it in a villainous way, in a very messy way. Balls in, heads, not head goes in there, let's say, but it wins her fights in a way. It won it in the Cameron fight, and it's won it in this fight. And look, I think she was rightfully punished. I agree with you. I don't think it's intentional. I think it's just the way she does it. It's just the way she falls in and over clinches and head. Yeah. So yeah, I don't think it's intentional headbutting, but it leads to clashes of heads.
Especially as well, for she's a shorter woman, so she's kind of, her head's going to be against kind of up here, and then she kind of like battles her way out for us. It's very messy, very scrappy for us, very messy. Again, I think that's how it is. And I mean, again, the referee maybe could have been a bit more. I mean, he did warn her a bunch of times. I don't know if she was initially warned for the headbutting or the holding. I feel like it was a holding initially, but then again, she got points deducted for a headbutt. So I thought the referee was just kind of like wasn't unsure which one to do it with, because when he deducted the point, I thought it was for the holding, Flowz, because he didn't look like there was a headbutt, but apparently it was for the headbutt. So yeah, maybe
don't they? Every time the headbutts, the head clashing with their heads and the holding always went hand in hand.
Yeah, I thought the referee, maybe if he was a bit more, he gave her chances. Maybe he could have been a bit stricter with it, maybe to avoid it, Flowz, because it was making it messy, and you could visibly see the frustration coming from Amanda's face. But Amanda Serrano is a warrior, so she carried on. I thought the fight was going to get stopped at one point, Flowz, because that cut was disgusting. But fortunately, I think The corner did. Huh? What you say?
I damn near think it should have been. I'm surprised it didn't. I'm surprised it
Mm.
didn't. That was
Close. It
one.
was nasty, wasn't it? It was grim. To you, it was very, very grim. Maybe because, well, first of all, the corner did a good job, but maybe because I don't know if the blood maybe might not have been teaming into a high. I don't know. But I've seen lesser cuts than that, and the fight's been stopped. To be honest, Flo. So it was a savage cut,
It was
and
it was caused by initial clash of heads, and that
yep,
opened up.
and then
And it happened again on the same
again,
cut,
and
and
that's what made it. Oh yeah,
it almost looked like it was flapping. You could
Flo,
see
it was
the
no, it was
bone.
flapping.
You
It was
could
flapping.
almost see
First, yeah,
but I'm sure it was the bone because the whole piece of skin,
yeah,
it was right underneath her eyebrow as well.
yeah.
So
But Flo, I saw like I said, I didn't even know your eyebrow could do that.
yeah,
Like I had never seen that before. Like, and even when the second touch of heads are opened up even more, Flo, you saw it. Like I watched it on my screen explode. Like the
yeah,
thing just went. Whoosh. I said, "Oh, yeah."
yeah.
It was deep. It was deep. So again, Serrano's a flipping warrior. But obviously, that clash of heads, Flores, and the point deduction you mentioned earlier about Flores, how the second half of the fight was just war.
Mm-hmm.
Because Taylor's there thinking, rah, that's going to set me back. And Amanda Serrano's like, rah, this fight may get stopped. All right, cool, let's go to war then. F it. Was it round 7? Were they both in the middle? Just rocket Flores. What?
Round 7 was a hell
I
of a
said, let's go.
hell of a round. Yeah, from that round,
Rock Flores, rock'em sock'em robots.
bro, and you know what? I thought that played into Serrano's hands a bit because
Mm.
then it was less on the back foot, less countering, less smothering, even almost from there. It was just straight war,
Yeah.
straight, and yeah, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Amanda was like landing some nice uppercuts on the inside in there as well as a combination.
Yep.
Katie Taylor's hand speed going off.
Yep.
I loved it. I loved it from that point.
Flores, both these women, not one back step, just forward. Just one back step. Let's just go to war now for these remaining 3 or 4 rounds. Beautiful Flores. Beautiful, beautiful work. Katie Taylor then suffered a cut on her eye as well. I don't know if that was from her headbutt or not, but she also got cut.
Yeah.
It was just wonderful stuff on both these women, Flores. I can't applaud them enough. They've given us 2 classics.
Mm-hmm.
Two classics. But yeah, man, end of the day, I've watched that fight and I've scored it to Katie Taylor by 1 round, despite the point deduction, Flores. And the judges saw the same thing. And all this talk about robbery, Flores, again, we have to nip that in the bud now. It was not robbery. Another brilliantly, amazingly razor-thin close fight, Flores. I feel for Amanda. Like I said, initially when I watched it, Flores, I thought Amanda took it because I was half asleep. I saw her doing a lot of the pressure in. She won the story of the fight, but I rewatched that now properly, scoring it actually properly because I didn't score it like the first time I watched it, and I was like, yeah, this is Katie Taylor's fight. Unfortunately for Amanda, I feel sorry for Amanda because obviously that first fight as well, Flo, same story, very very close, controversial. Probably, in fact, this one was even more of a more. I guess I saw more uproar from the casuals. The first fight, people were like either or, but this one, yeah. But you know, Amanda took the defeat gracefully. Did you see her coach crash out, Flores, though?
Yeah.
So funny. I was in tears. I was in tears. He didn't even hold back. He couldn't even help himself.
Yeah.
He said, she's a dirty fighter. He said, Man Serrano's only been cut twice, both with Katie Taylor. Other fighters mentioned how other fighters are complaining about Katie Taylor and the use of her head. He said, no shade to Katie, you're a wonderful woman. She's just got a massive head. I was crying. Crazy crash out. He was livid. He was livid, man.
Yeah.
Man.
I think it's obviously evident that Katie Taylor's prone to head clashes. First up, I think the ref was right to deduct a point and warn her. I won't say she's a dirty fighter. It just depends on the ref, how much the ref is going to let her get away with that kind of stuff. But yeah, look, the crash out, understand, emotional, big.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he was even crashing out during the fight.
Yeah. When was it Ariel went to interview him?
He was
swearing. He was effing the blood. Yeah, he was.
And look, Amanda was quite emotional as well. She was voicing the headbutts. But yeah,
I can't look. back of a close decision like that, Flowz, a chance to be undisputed. Don't forget, undisputed revenge, blood, sweat, and tears. You would hope that you've done enough, and to be honest, she did enough. It's just Katie is phenomenal, Flowz, and just that little bit better. And that must hurt, Flowz, when you're really that good. But there's just something you can't overcome. And that was it this time. It's 2-0 to Katie now, Flowz. I mean, even though you say that's conclusive and it's done, I want to see a trilogy because these women are just ridiculous, Flowz. And the fights are so exciting. I'm happy for them to run it back. But I understand if they don't want it now because it's like, obviously, it's too tough. Two grueling fights. There's other stuff out there for both of them. I think Amanda was trying to tempt Katie to come and fight her in MMA. That's never happening. So it is what it is. But yeah, man, Flowz, would you be interested in seeing the second fight? Oh, sorry, a third fight.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I think even last week we said, just to add, last week, part of the reason why I picked Katie to win was just
I picked Amanda. Yeah.
Rhino has had to jump up and weight a lot more. Look, I don't even think it made a difference. I'll be real.
Well, it's still crazy to me because Amanda looks bigger than her.
Yeah, she does.
Just dimension wise, and she hits way harder than her too.
Yeah,
like she rocks her, but she's like 2 weight classes below her naturally. I think she kept saying how she's a featherweight and like she's a small girl. I'm like thinking, small where? I don't get it because she's bigger than Katie. She's stronger than Katie as well. Like she can move her around like it's nuts.
You can see it though. Like once again, the size of Katie's neck and the size of Katie's head.
True.
Like that's probably why Katie's able to withstand those punches.
Maybe.
Katie ain't got the biggest head. Like Chantel Cameron was bigger than Katie Taylor. Her head's huge compared to
massive. These girls on HGH. Let me relax. They're on something bad because these head sites are crazy.
But look, I saw they both passed the VADA stuff, so people can't run to that. They both went through VADA testing. So they're clean fighters. They're risking it all. They're daring to be great. I would happily see it again. I think these two have provided us with classics, all-timers, back to back. Could be a Gatty Ward kind of thing, an all-time trilogy.
Yeah. Look, man, there's still attractive options for Katie because obviously it's 1-1 between her and Chantel as well. And I think Chantel's the mandatory again for one of her belts. So there's that. I'm happy to see that again, Flowz. Her and Chantel Cameron again. I'm happy to see Amanda Serrano again. And we can't forget about the face of boxing. She's also now looking to, she was tweeting last night saying, she's undisputed in her weight class, but Katie Taylor isn't too far away from her. So, I'm happy to see that too. So there are some very attractive options for Katie Taylor still. So funny enough, obviously, I'm there saying that she called it a day right into the sunset. It's almost as if she's come back with a renewed vigor, Flowz, and a new lease of life, Indian summer kind of thing, because she's still in it. She's still cold, Flowz. So yeah, man, maybe she should stick around.
Well, she was calling for 12 rounds, 3-minute rounds.
Yeah, I don't know, Flowz. Yeah. I can't lie, man. Look, I can't lie. This 2-minute format, 10-round format for women, cash money.
Yeah.
Flowz, Steph Curry from 3, cash money. It's actually cold because it's all action from the start to the finish, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, man, keep it 2 minutes because I entertained it as well, Flowz. I did entertain it because I thought to myself, "Oh, an extra minute of this," but I actually think 2 minutes worked perfectly, Flowz. 10 rounds, 2 minutes. Just give me that. I'm cool with it. It's not fixed weight and broken.
Yeah. Great fight.
Great, another classic, Flowz. Shout out to that's a strong fight of the year candidate, Flowz. Very strong one.
Yes.
If they do it again, fair play. Fair play to these women. Okay, Flowz. Let's talk about Amanda Serrano's boss. Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. Which is what a lot of people were tuning in for. A lot of casuals as well. Again, this is a fight we didn't care about, but there are some talking points, Flowz. I want to congratulate Mike Tyson, my heavyweight GOAT, for an easy finesse, an easy lick, because he walked away 20 million richer, I believe. So shout out to my GOAT, always getting to the money. Shout out to Mike. I knew Jake Paul was going to win this fight, Flowz, and I actually wanted Jake Paul to win for chaos reasons, but it was funny, Flowz. I don't know, did you watch it? I'm assuming you watched it. Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, you didn't even watch it? Cool. I watched it, Flowz. I watched it. I was like, all right, cool. I'm here already. Even though I dozed off. I did doze off in like a couple rounds, but you get the gist. Mike started fast, as we knew he would. And then after round Flowz, Mike was blown out of his ass. He was cooked, fried. Flowz, after one round, fried. Breathing heavy, panting. Oh, it was peak. It was 2-minute rounds, by the way, because Mike requested 2-minute rounds.
See, that's the thing. Someone asked me, people coming to me asking me, what do you think? What do you think? I said, I didn't even know how many rounds it is. I checked, I saw eight rounds.
Eight 2-minute rounds. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is a parody fight.
Look, Flowz, it's a glorified exhibition.
Yeah.
My bonus is with the people that keep entertaining these kind of fights and the people that were shocked that Mike lost so convincingly. The guy is 60 years old. What do you expect? He's a 60-year-old man that has taken many headshots throughout his career. That you could see Mike's legs were unsteady. Like his balance was off. He had like a strapping on his leg as well, so I think he's got a leg issue. But Flowz, just from the footwork alone, I said, yeah, it's gonna be a long night. He did his usual fast combos because that's what tricks everyone, right, Flowz? They see these training clips of Mike Tyson doing his usual combos, and they're thinking, oh my gosh, Jake's in for a long day. I'm watching these combinations, Flowz. I'm thinking, look at his footwork. Look how open he is. Look how shattered he is after doing that combo. So he tried to do that in the first round, wasn't able to get it off, and then from then he was knackered. And then Jake Paul just treated him, Flowz. Treated him for the rest of the fight. Jab and move, jabbed and move, jabbed and move. Combination here and there. In the third round, he actually had Mike in trouble. Like, Mike was taking punishment. I'm there thinking, right, it could go down. And that's when Jake Paul did the honorable thing, Flowz. Put his hands down and just stepped off the gas. Spared him. Spared him for the rest of the fight, Flowz. He could have, Jake Paul, if he wanted to, Flowz, I promise you, he could have got Mike out of there.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But out of respect for the legend that he is, and not to make people cry, he spared Mike. Didn't look to attack him too tough. Mike, I think, landed like, he wasn't, at one point, Mike from that round 3 onwards, Flowz wasn't even throwing. Really, couldn't really throw. Weren't landing nothing. Just surviving, Flowz. It looked exactly what it was, Flowz. A 30-year-old, I don't even know, how old is Jake Paul? Is he 27? 30? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Flowz, but it looked like a young man beating up an old man. That's it. Mike is an old man. Damn. So for all you people that felt that Mike's going to do something or do Jake something, get real, please. He's 60. Father Time beats everyone. He's 60. People really thought Mike's Superman, you know, that he was going to go and match work against a non-boxer. First of all, Jake Paul's a boxer. Get that in your head. We said it many times on this thing. He trains and lives like a boxer. Second of all, Flowz, Mike Tyson is 60. I just don't get what people thought. But yeah, Flowz, they need to stop entertaining these stupid fights.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to see a 60-year-old Mike Tyson in the ring ever again. Ever.
Damn.
So yeah, man.
I said to people, like, look, what's going to happen is Mike Tyson's going to try it, knock him out early. And then it's a case of how long can he last before he's gassed out. I was awake at the time the fight was going on. I was awake.
So you was pretty on Twitter, innit?
I think I woke up and I was pretty Twitter and I just saw people, this is terrible to watch. This is hard to watch.
Sad to watch. Yeah, it was. Unfortunately, it was sad for us because it's like...
you messaged me. I was like laughing. I was like, damn, like Jake Paul carried him. It sounds like.
He did.
Look, like we've said on this pod, Jake Paul keeps tricking you lot. He's a boxer. And the only question is how bad is Mike Tyson at this age of 60 or 58? How bad is he? And he's very bad. He tricks you lot too. he's been tricking you lot too.
He tricks everyone with the rapid fire combination videos, Flowz. You know the videos I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
We see him find them combinations of the pad, and they're thinking, oh, Jake's in for a long day, blah blah. They say, what happens to this Mike Tyson? I'll tell you what happens to Mike Tyson. First of all, these pad videos, the pad man's not punching back. He's staying there. The pad man is static. It's easy to look good. Flowz, you could look good. Look at hit the pads. I think so anyway. You can...
anyone can. If you do do
you know how easy it is to look sick? Anyone can do that. But it's a live opponent, Flowz, who is half your age, in better condition, in better shape than you. who's moving around. It's not going to fly.
Okay,
It's not going to fly. Yeah, go on.
let's address what a lot of people, because we weren't given the logical excuse. A lot of people are saying staged, scripted.
Yeah. Basically now, from I think from a couple of fights ago, Flowz, there's now the general consensus is with the casuals or the ones that don't want to give Jake Paul any credit is that all of his fights are scripted and staged. That there was a rumor going around that apparently in the contract, Mike Tyson wasn't allowed to hurt Jake.
Big contract.
Which is now what people are saying is they're seeing the first round where he actually tried. He landed a good shot in the first round, and then the rest of the fight he didn't land anything. So now they're saying, look, it must be that contract where he's not allowed to knock him out, which is why Mike did that. And they're praising Mike, saying, oh, fair enough, blah, blah. I don't believe Jake Paul's fights are scripted, Flowz. I just think that he's very good at tricking you guys, and you guys bite it every single time. I've said it before. This guy lives and trains like a boxer. I'm looking at his corner, Flowz. Before, obviously, BJ Flowz, we've seen him in his corner a couple times. Yeah. Who do I see in the corner this time? I don't know if he's been there before, but I'm seeing Jay Leon Love.
He has been there before. I think he has.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, I was like, Flowz, this is a former world title challenger, right? Jay Leon Love. He's challenged for world titles. We know Jay Leon Love. We know him. BJ Flowz, I'm pretty sure he's challenged for world titles before. Like, these are ex-boxers who might not have been world-class, but have fought at world level, you know what I mean? So these are the guys in his camp. So he's not being trained by some random scrub off the street. He's being trained by actual ex-professional boxers. He lives like a boxer, trains like a boxer. At this point of spars boxers. He's a boxer. Just call it how you see it. Yes, he's a YouTube star turned boxer, but he is actually a boxer. He's picking his opponents very, very, very selectively and smartly. Picking guys he knows he'll beat. The MMA lot, he knows he'll cook him. Mike Tyson at 60, of course he knows he's going to cook him. He's 60. Mike Tyson looks like an old man, which is what he is. He's an old man. And yeah, people are using that to discredit him and saying, oh yeah, it's all fake. But you got to understand that this is a kid that actually trains and lives the life. The quicker you accept that, the better. So yeah, Flowz, I'm not buying the scripted excuse. Until they come and prove it, I'm going to believe it. This guy's, it's all legit, Flowz.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Listeners, don't get tricked again. Someone sent me the guy pointing at a piece of paper or pointed at a bit of text saying this is the contract. No, it's not. If that was,
come on, man.
But they're making up fake contracts and making up fake things, and you not buying it. Don't buy it because there's no source for where this is coming from. And if this was the case, why didn't you hear it before the fight? How are you getting the contract? Yeah. How are you getting Mike Tyson's contract? And you're putting it like this. Saying, oh, here's the contract. Here's what it says. Stop it. Look, give Jake Paul his credit. Tyson, damn, it is what it is.
It's not a damn thing, folks. He's 58.
Yeah, so what
are we expecting?
Be fair, they're chasing the bag.
Flowz, shall I tell you what he's doing? He's getting 20 million with an easy, well, that's an easy night's work. He has to be in shape for 20 million. That's it. For 58-year-old, in fact, you know what, folks? I'm going to even give Tyson credit. A lot of 58-year-old men ain't doing that. They're not even lost in the full whatever. I'll be so real, Flowz.
You could like who tried it recently? Holyfield. Who else done it? James Toney fight again recently. Look,
James Toney has never retired.
All these legends. I need you to stop it.
I'm not a fan of it, but if they're going to do it, at least get to the bag. And Mike Tyson's got to the bag, so fair play to him. Now stop it.
Look, I even want to. Something just came in my head, which I've been seeing in the last day or so since Jake Paul won. Tony Bellew, Carl Froch.
Yep, let's talk about that.
Beterbiev. I'm sick to my stomach. All of you pro boxers, are disgusting me.
Can I just say that Beterbiev, I know that must have been his team. He doesn't speak. I refuse to believe that's the good Muslim brother Beterbiev chasing the bag, chasing the clout like that. I refuse to believe it. It must be his team.
Disgusted.
But Flowz, tell you what, Andre Ward. Don't forget. Yes. So Flowz, I'm seeing all these ex-legends and boxers call out Jake Paul.
Yuck.
And that's what I thought to myself. Jake Paul is actually a G. I'm liking this kid more and more. I'll be so real, Flowz. Because he's a rattler. And I like guys who rattle people. He's a world-class rattler. And he actually does respect boxing. What he's done with Amanda Serrano and how he's got her paid every time. He's done so right by Amanda that I can't even hate. Yep. And he always puts boxers on his cards as well. He doesn't put all these fake guys or whatever. To be fair, there was one fight on the undercard. I don't even know who they were. But yeah. But for the most part, anyways, I'm seeing actual boxers on the undercard like Flowz. So to me, that speaks to a guy that actually respects the sport.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that he's rattling all these men is killing me. Carl Froch is there calling him out. Carl's been calling him out for the last 3 fights, saying one arm behind my back, I can stop you. So much so now, Flowz, I kind of want it to happen because I feel like Jake Paul can beat these men.
Yep. Carl Froch, especially.
Froch is the one I'm thinking of. In fact, I can't lie, Flowz, Bellew. I think he can beat Bellew too. Like Andre, that one there, I don't know because let me not respect the SOG because that's SOG right there, Flowz.
Yeah.
But I can't lie, Flowz, I was disappointed to see Andre say that. I can't lie, I was very disappointed, especially Andre, I expect better from. To see him chasing like that, boy.
There was other people as well, but it was you see, like they all chase. Look, we all know you're chasing the bag, but you're calling out a YouTube kid for like. Look, we give him credit as a boxer. I was telling my wife as well that look, I'll always give him credit because he lives the life and what he's done for women's boxing. He was a big part of history. The history. Amanda Serrano getting the bag that she needed to, that she deserved. He's waving the flag for the sport, so I give him full credit. And we've always said he's one of the faces of boxing. He's top 3 names of boxing. We've said that for time. Top 3 names. Look, he had like you said, had all these men rattled, and I'm disgusted with their action.
Out of all of them, Flowz, would you actually like to see? Was it the Frock one you want to see?
Or
you rather not?
I don't even want these men to get the bag.
Yeah.
I don't want these men to get any bread. I don't want embarrassing yourselves. You lot aren't Tyson. That Tyson's a legendary name. You lot are just chasing the bag at this point. He doesn't. Big thing is Jake Paul doesn't need you.
Yeah,
he doesn't need you at all.
Yeah.
You're just begging it. You're begging for a payday.
Oof.
He doesn't need
you. You want payday? Payday?
He's gonna keep mocking you lot, and you lot are gonna keep trying to twerk to get this fight.
For real.
And he's not gonna give it to you.
But what will kill me is if he does fight them first and he beats them. That will kill me. I like a guy that rattles people, right, Flowz, and people who tune in, like people tune into Jake Paul to hope to see him get knocked out. They hate him. They just don't like him. And the fact that he's able to keep winning this way is what makes him like me. What makes me like him even more.
Yeah.
So
it was a fight. Good cards.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jake Paul, man.
But yeah, man. Look, shout out to Jake Paul. I'm happy that he didn't go to embarrass Mike, and shout out to Mike for lasting. Mike's bob and weave is still good, to be fair. Like, it's still hard to hit clean, but it's just the rest of it is kind of gone. But yeah, man, it looked like a 58-year-old man in the ring, old, kind of finished, as it should be. I do hope that that's the last we see of Mike, because you can see because 4 years ago was a Roy Jones fight, right? I think it was. And he looked a lot worse on Friday, Flowz. Like, he's aging rapidly, to be honest, Flowz. And he's a boxer. He's taken a lot of punishment in his life and whatnot. So we know that boxers can age quite badly. To be fair, Mike still has his faculties. He's still a madman, to be fair. But he's still Mike. But yeah, man, hopefully we don't see him in the ring anymore. Hopefully that 20 million does nice for you and you won't have to be chasing more money. But you know, with these fighters, Flowz, sometimes they can never get at their age. So yeah. But me, I ain't looking to see Mike Tyson in the ring ever again, man. That's it. It's enough. It's enough. It's done. None of these, man. Lennox Lewis, Holyfield, like, nah, I'm good. I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm really good. And even these retired lot, Flowz that are newer retired, like the Bellews and the Wards and the Froch, just stay retired. It's all right. It's not that deep. But yeah, everyone's Flowz. You know, clout is a hell of a drug in this life, man. Hell of a drug. It's a nasty drug.
Yeah, damn.
But all right, Flowz, let's talk about Saturday, because there was another really good card. Riyadh season, shout out to His Excellency Turkey. This was Latino night, Flowz. We'll start with, before we get to the main, Flowz, some fights on the card that I do want to talk about quickly. Let's talk about Tevin Farmer, Flowz, William Zepeda, because this was one of the undercard fights, Flowz. William Zepeda it's safe to say, Flowz, they've been hyping William Zepeda up a lot. Mexican 135-pounder, Flowz, that seems to be steamrolling through his opposition. So he's got a lot of hype from Golden Boy. And this fight was like a number one contender slot to challenge Shakur for his, I think, WBC belt. Look, man, this was definitely Zepeda's hardest fight till date, Flowz. He's been able to sort of walk through all his opponents until now. Tevin Farmer gave him hell, to be honest, Flowz. And you know what, Flowz? I'm going to always be in Tevin Farmer's corner, Flowz, honestly. Like, Tevin Farmer, to me, is a fighter that, you know, when we say you have fighters, Flowz, that you just wish had popped to their punches. Tevin Farmer's one of them. Like, he's such an amazing boxer, Flowz, so skilled. And it was on full display against Zepeda, a guy he was heavily underdog against, Flowz. But his skill was winning him loads of rounds. And I'm just there thinking to myself, oh man, if only you had power, Tevin. If only you was blessed with a little bit of power. Because the way he's catching and shooting, he's dropped Zepeda in the fourth round, Flowz. Probably one of the most beautifully executed catch and shoots I've ever seen, Flowz. So beautiful. Dropped him, but he wasn't able to follow up, unfortunately. And the way Zepeda fights, Flowz, typical Mexican, Flowz, just comes forward, non-stop punching. Like, if you see the work rate of Zepeda, it's crazy, Flowz. Does not stop throwing punches. And he's able to walk through Tevin Farmer's best shots, apart from the shot that dropped him, more of a time, Flowz. Tevin Farmer's landing clean, but unfortunately, Zepeda is able to walk through his punches and get off his own shots. And unfortunately, Zepeda won by SD, Flowz. And it's purely because of the fact that I feel like his non-stop activity finally got to Tevin and was able to finally sort of break Tevin down a little bit. But if not, Flowz, if Tevin Farmer, I feel like if he had a bit more pop to his punches and he fought with a bit more aggression, he could have won this fight, Flowz. He could have won this fight. It was that close. But yeah, I really feel for Tevin because he kind of just ran out of steam towards the end and Zepeda just doesn't stop throwing. But yeah, I will always back Tevin Farmer, Flowz. And I really hope, because he lost earlier in the year to Muratalla, and that was a bit controversial as well, Flowz. He actually, like, a lot of people thought he won that fight, but they gave it to Muratalla, I think because of politics and whatnot. He's also like another undefeated prospect. Tevin Farmer's been on the back of some bad decisions, Flowz, throughout his career, based on the fact that I feel like because he's an unfancied name or because he fights in a certain style that people deem defensive. But he's supremely skilled, Flowz, and I'll always be a fan of him. And to me, what I saw on the weekend, Flowz, is that Tevin Farmer still has a lot to give. He's 34 now. He's had a lot of fights, but he's definitely not finished, Flowz. He almost beat a heralded undefeated prospect, Flowz, of boxing skills alone. So to me, I really hope he sticks around, Flowz, because he's still got a lot left in the tank from what I can see. But yeah, man, big up Tevin Farmer. I'll always be a fan.
Yeah, good fight. We expected him to lose, but I didn't know how much he had left to give. And yeah, the knockdown, it was more of a slip counter because he slipped him.
Yeah, Tuve slipped him. Yeah.
Yeah, it was more of a slip counter and dropped him. He was landing. He was landing frequently. The footwork isn't at the same level it used to be. Defensively, he isn't as tight as he used to be. But he looked in good shape. Gave Zepeda hell. He gave him more hell.
Some of the punches he was landing were just, the execution of the punch was like, wow. Like, you can see he's so good technically. But yeah, sorry, go on.
He's always been super talented.
Yeah.
It's always been a question of focus or errors in the ring. He's always been live. He's always been super creative. He's lost a few fights that he probably shouldn't have. But yeah, he shows that he can still compete. I don't know why he wants to go, because this is two close losses now. But yeah, shout out to Tevin Farmer, man. Great boxer. Shame he hasn't got the bag he deserved with the Tank fight. Yeah. At the time, that was one of the fights we were all clamoring for.
Yep.
Tank robbed us of a few of those. So, but yeah, good fight as well. Definitely great fight to watch that.
Also, just a shame, Flowz, he's got no power. If he had power to his punches, Flowz, he could have really changed his directory a little bit. But he's just not blessed with pop at all, Flowz. He's got like no pop at all. Well, let me not say at all, but yeah, he's barely had any opposition on his resume. It's a damn shame because he's landing clean against these guys, beautifully, flush, and able to walk through it. Zepeda, though, Flowz, like I said, he's kind of been gassed by Golden Boy a lot recently. I'm personally not impressed by him. your typical Mexican come forward fighter Flowz that pressures you and throws non-stop punches, but you know, he's now earmarked to fight Shakur next. And in my opinion, Shakur is going to starch him, Flowz. Shakur's going to treat him, I think. Obviously, it's going to make for an exciting fight because he's going to be coming forward a lot and pressuring Shakur. But if, an older, less mobile Tevin Farmer was giving you hell like this, boy, what Shakur might do to you might be a murder. Yeah. Like I said, I can see Zepeda's appeal. I can see why people like him, but yeah, he was getting caught so easily by Tevin Farmer. And Tevin Farmer is sort of seen on sort of the back end of his career. So yeah, I think Shakur might deal with this Zepeda guy if that fight does happen. So yeah, we'll see. Also on the card, so
they were meant to fight before, and Zepeda turned it down.
Yeah. But now he's saying he's ready for him.
He's not, but yeah,
yeah. But we'll see. There was also a good win at 140 Flowz for Arnold Barboza Jr. against Jose Ramirez. I didn't actually realize that fight was on the undercard for us, but that's a very good fight to have on the undercard. Jose Ramirez, we know, is a former unified champion at 140, and Barboza Jr. is an undefeated 140 prospect. Good fight for us, to be honest. Obviously, Ramirez was the one sort of pressuring Barboza Jr., but just Barboza Jr. was just a bit too slick, a bit too cute for Ramirez. He was using his jab well, counter shots well, good footwork. Good fighter, Barboza Jr., good fighter. Another name, I guess, that's sort of in the mix at 140. This is definitely the biggest name in his resume. He's had about 30-ish fights now, I think, Flowz. So yeah, he's looking for a title shot. So he's another name to add to the mix, Flowz, as people at 140 that are good. And beating Ramirez is a good name to have in your resume, because Ramirez is not food, as we know. He was at one point one of the best at 140 pounds. So yeah, good win for Barboza Jr. But Flowz, let's talk about the main event, what we were there for, really, chiefly. Zurdo Ramirez versus Chris Billam-Smith. Both putting their titles on the line to unify the division. Flowz, I think we were spot on with our prediction, to be honest, Flowz. Obviously, previously with CBS, we've been wrong in our predictions. But I said for sure, Flowz, for sure, this time we're going to get this prediction right. I said last week, Flowz, Zurdo's going to be too good for CBS. Zurdo is a world-class fighter and has been there before in other divisions, fought amazing guys, just a brilliant operator, Flowz, in the ring. CBS started fast. That first round he took, he was, came out, was swinging. And Flowz, I did say, I said I thought this is going to be a really good fight because they both come forward and CBS likes to come forward. He usually, likes to tear up. And it was a really enjoyable fight to be honest, Flowz. But after that first round, Flowz, the boxing clinic that Zurdo put on, Flowz, chef's kiss. Brilliant performance, Flowz, from Zurdo. He cooked Billam-Smith, Flowz. He cooked him. Gave him a boxing lesson. The Flowz, I was looking at the footwork, the angles, the shot selection. It was brilliant, Flowz. And Billam-Smith, the main critique I've had with him throughout his career is that he's so hittable. Way too easy to hit for my liking. Takes way too much punishment for my liking. And Zurdo, Flowz, the accuracy was unerring. You give, you're defensively suspect, and you give a very accurate punch in Zurdo time to make his work, Flowz. It was only going to happen in one way, Flowz. He was only going to get pieced up. And he did get pieced up, man. So yeah, it was a wonderful performance from Zurdo. Outclassed him, showed him levels. That's what it is, to be honest. Like I said, I think Billam-Smith has done really well to get to this stage in his career. I mean, against my predictions anyways, and against your predictions, he's made it here. Champion of the world. He's defended a few times. And he's unifying. But I said, this will be the night where, unfortunately, he's going to be shown levels. And Zurdo showed him levels.
Yeah. I think, we both said Zurdo's a better boxer than Okoli and Riakpo comfortably, and he's certainly a better boxer than Chris Billam-Smith. And I think the only factor that we could put in CBS's favor going into the fight was that he's campaigned at the weight longer. Not that Zurdo is the smaller man, but he's just not been at that weight for very long. Look, brilliant fight. Zurdo showed his skills. And I don't think I was too surprised by Serrano's performance. We know what he's about. I think the telling thing for me, or the most impressive thing for me, was CBS's heart, like his will, because he was getting caught flush from round one, and he was getting pieced up, cooked in portions. But we know CBS, and he tends to rise to getting pieced up.
Yeah.
He always rises to it. And he certainly rose to this because he wasn't going. He was
No.
he wasn't going. And when you think he's going, he'd respond and just fire fresh straight off will and desire and heart and rally in portions, really rally. And get off his own work and land on Zepeda. Not Zepeda.
Zoda, yeah.
He's always live in these fights, and when you're up against someone who's maybe not as skilled but live, and thinking, okay, he's maybe the bigger man, maybe he has a bit of power, maybe he can pull a shot out from the gods.
Yeah,
there's that
tension,
uncertainty. Yeah, not fear because, but uncertainty or tension, like you say, that something could happen, something could turn at any moment, and he put everything out there on the line. It's almost made me respect CBS a whole lot more through this loss than his wins, almost. Because, and maybe that's harsh on me, because really and truly, we've said Okoli was meant to be the man to take over the division. We said that in the past.
Yep.
So we are gonna sit here and say, "Oh, Okoli's dead now." We have to be fair. He's beat someone who's meant to be takeover. He's beaten Riakpo, who beat him. Yep. And now he's really gone to war with Zerdo. He lost, but he went to war. Some people had it close. I don't know if you had it close. I didn't.
Nope. I think I gave Billam-Smith 2 rounds in total. I think 12.
You had it even after 6.
That was one account. I'm not going to say who, but one account said they had it even after 6. I said, excuse me? Huh? I said, excuse me? 3 apiece. No, we can't. Sometimes, you know, someone's Flowz, you see tweets, you're thinking, you can't be watching the same fight I'm watching. How? I think I gave Billam-Smith 2 rounds in total, Flowz, for the entire fight. So, yeah, it was a cooking. Billam-Smith did his best work inside, and when he was able to get in close. Because outside Flowz, the way Zoda was just footworking him, like I said, angling him, treating him, it was rude. It was actually quite rude, Flowz. Like, he couldn't even live with the footwork, Flowz. Like, Billam-Smith would return and Zoda's the other side. Like, it was crazy. So when he was actually able to, like, get in close Flowz and have a tear up inside, that's when he did his best work, and that's when he landed his best shots. But at the same time, Zodo, Billam-Smith for rally, but Zoda was still in these rallies. Like, he was landing throughout Flowz, throughout. Whether it's inside, outside, he was doing good work throughout. But Billam-Smith definitely did his best work inside. So no shame in the performance Flowz. I knew that, obviously, we've watched Billam-Smith for a while now. I know about his heart Flowz. He's got a lot of it. So I'm not surprised that he wasn't going quietly, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Because I felt like maybe there were times when Zoda was punishing him, and I'm thinking to myself, boy, he could go, but he didn't. Like, obviously, I know he wasn't going to go, but I'm saying that other guys will go. Yeah. But I'm very much aware of how much heart he has and how strong he is, and he was never going to go. And then you saw the comparison between the Flowz. His face was messed up. Zodo looks untouched.
His mouth was. He looked knackered as well. His mouth was open coming out of rounds. He gave everything. He didn't give up. Like, look, I've said this before. We've seen CBS struggle with less opposition, and that's why I don't fully rate him. Like, he's won fights on heart before against less opposition, and you're thinking, how you're not going to do that against the top guys.
You shouldn't be going through this hell with this guy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's
won fights, and he's knocked people out against the run of play, against the run of the fight.
Yep.
He's been doing that. So
who was that guy he fought where he was all fight was struggling? I thought, he needs to wake up, and then he landed one crazy shot that made the guy slump, shut down. I can't remember who it was. Was it Seslak? I don't know. It was one of these European guys. But he does that sometimes. Yeah.
I think he fought Tommy McCarthy and he struggled the first time. Then the second time he knocks him out. He's one of these guys. He almost rises to getting pieced up, and he fights to the level of.
There's a bit of Fabio Wardley in him, Flowz, where he needs to take a couple of shots for him to wake up a little bit.
Yeah, and he's pulled out big wins and then funny performances. But what can't be questioned is his heart, because Zerda was treating him like no one.
Flowz, treated him.
But he weren't going, and he weren't letting it be a cakewalk in that sense. He weren't letting it be as we can say it's a washing, but he landed. He was landing.
Yeah, he made it competitive somewhat.
Yeah, he made rounds look competitive. He was catching Zerdo. And at the end, they were swinging. They both met in the middle.
They both met in the middle. Yeah, so it was a very enjoyable fight, to be honest, Flowz. I really enjoyed it. Two protagonists that want to sort of, do their work, and I think he would have learned so much from this fight, Flowz. If he does decide to come again, Flowz, this fight would have been so helpful to him, just to show him what the real world level looks like. Because unfortunately, the guys he's beaten before weren't world level, Flowz. Okolie, who, like I said before, Okolie was going to be his division. He lost. I mean, Okolie got dropped, twice, I think, by my man? Twice? No, it was more than that. It was like 4-5, no? Yeah. I to this day, I don't know what that Okolie performance was. And then that reactable performance again, Flowz. I don't know what that was. It's two crazy performances, and Billam-Smith has come away with those unscathed. So fair play.
Nah, you killed me.
How could Okolie get dropped 4? That's crazy. Anyways, I don't know, man. And Rackport, boy, that fight was insane. How can people I know say they never want to watch him again? Nah, so don't be deep, man.
How can you say you won a title fight that was a fake one? Okolie, man, that performance. Anyway, shout out to CBS. He's achieved greatness. He's done his thing, and he stepped up. He stepped up there with a killer.
Yeah, and by the way, Flowz, we're seeing the levels of Zerdo and how good he is. By the way, Zerdo is someone who has been he's been one of Mexico's finest boxers for a long time. By the way, Flowz. Yeah. Back when he was at super middleweight, he was champion for like 4 years, untouchable. It puts in perspective how insane Dimitri Bivol is.
Yeah,
because Bivol treated Zerdo, and Zerdo was elite. Bivol killed him. So again, that just speaks to Bivol's greatness. But also, Zerdo has to be praised, Flowz. We talk about Canelo a lot as Mexico's finest, but Zerdo is also one of Mexico's finest fighters. He has been for a long time. He's got over 40 fights. I think he's coming approaching 50 fights now, Flowz. He seems so at home in cruiserweight. I mean, from day one, Flowz, when he was a super middleweight, we said this guy is a giant. He's going to make a cruiserweight one day. So he seems at home in cruiserweight division. Definitely feels natural for him. The winner is slated to go on to fight Jaya Portaya in another unification, Flowz. We obviously believe that Jaya Portaya is the best cruiserweight fighter in the world, Flowz, and he's our favorite cruiserweight fighter right now. But that fight with Zerdo, it's not a cakewalk. And I look forward to it massively, Flowz, because they're both quality fighters. Both of them are quality fighters. Yeah. I hope we can see it next year. And I think His Excellency will, His Excellency will do it.
That's the best for the best, and that's what we want to see. So, can't wait.
Yeah. I can't wait either. That will be a cracking fight, Flowz. It won't be a cakewalk. Obviously, Jaya Portaya's been smashing for everyone, but apart from Bradis, but I don't think Zerdo. Well, I assume so, anyways. I don't know if he will walk through Zerdo, because Zerdo can box really, really well. Yeah, and he's also got size as well, probably bigger than Jaya, to be honest. So yeah, man, I really look forward to that one. But yeah, big up Zerdo, man. Big up Zerdo. Another quality operator in there, man. I like seeing good, classy operators in the ring, and he did that for sure. And CBS, come again, man. Come again. I've got time for him. I do have time for CBS. Okolie's a heavyweight now, which we knew he was going to go to anyway, so that's not going to happen again. I don't really know what Reactport's doing. I'm guessing Reactport will come again too. Yeah. But yeah, fairs. Flowz, I think we can leave it there then. Flowz, I think that's all the fights taken care of. Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah, I don't know if we talked about, but obviously Okolie, we mentioned Okolie. We signed to Queensbury the other day. So yeah, the boxer.
last week or 3 weeks ago. I think that was.
I feel like it was last week, but yeah, well, I saw the announcement officially last week, but yeah, that boxer thing was short lived. But yeah,
and look, it's what we predicted once he lost to CBS that he would have to go up. He obviously pit stop at Bridgerweight, won a title there, but now he's up at heavyweight. So
yeah, we knew he was gonna go to heavyweight. Like that was always the plan.
Yeah.
I saw him saying he wants to fight Dylan White because him and White have beef. So yeah.
White's fight announced in Gibraltar against someone I don't know.
Flipping hell, Gibraltar, you know. Boy, yeah, first.
Yeah, look, heavyweight's booming, so let's see what fights.
Yeah, let's see what Cody can do to the division. I'm intrigued to see. So yeah, he has a fight. He's on the upcoming Cruiserweight card. He's on there. The fight, the one with Adelaide and Sol. Yeah. But yeah, we'll discuss that later on when the time comes. But yeah, man, this is episode 222 of the SZN Season Podcast. Once again, I'm your boy Kam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And as always, guys, you know where to find us. Peace.
I'm taking a strap. I'm strapped up.
What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.